There once was a baker who had a successful bake shop in Albany. He had a good business, a plump wife, and he was a very happy man. He had a lovely family, and everything was going well, until one day when an old poor woman entered his bake shop. "May I have a dozen of your St. Nicholas cookies?" asked the woman. "Well, of course," said the baker, and he packed up 12 of his St. Nicholas cookies. "Only 12?" she said. "Well, what do you expect?" said the baker. He knew exactly what she expected. Some of the other bakers in town had been giving 13 instead of 12 when asked for a dozen. He thought that this practice was terrible. He had a family to support. If he was just giving away cookies, how could he continue to do that? "You may have 12 or none at all," he said to the woman. So she left the cookies and went out the door. From that day on, the baker's luck changed. All of his bread fell flat, and his cookies were burnt or no good. Then, one day, all of his bread began to rise incredibly high into the sky. He was horrified when he saw his bread up on the rooftops. "That woman has cursed me," said the baker. He could not believe what she had done to him. "What am I supposed to do? Give away extra cookies?" He couldn't do that. And now his family was going to suffer. A few days later the old woman came into his bakery again. "Get out!" he said. "How dare you enter my bakery after what you have done to me?" He knew that he had bewitched her, and he did not want an old woman to cause any more harm in his bake shop. So he showed her the door, and she left. Then his luck became even worse. All of his baked goods were horrible. They were burnt, they were too flat, they rose too much. Nothing was coming out right, and even his most loyal customers were starting to leave. "What am I supposed to do with my family?" he said. He was running out of money and desperate. So he went to the church to pray to St. Nicholas. He asked for guidance and for help. St. Nicholas was a generous saint. He knew that he would help him. He went back to his bakery to have another attempt at making his famous St. Nicholas cookies. When he took them out of the oven, they were perfect. "Oh my gosh!" said the baker. "My cookies, they're perfect!" He was so happy. When he turned around to put them on the counter, St. Nicholas appeared to him, the ghost. "Oh my!" said the baker. Then St. Nicholas spoke. "Throughout my life, I have given to many people. My generosity has helped all. Is one cookie so much to ask after all that God has done for you?" he said. The baker thought, "Well, I guess being generous wouldn't be the end of the world," he said. So, the next day, the old woman came into his shop. She asked for a dozen of his St. Nicholas cookies. He counted out 13, put them in a box for her, and gave them to her. "Here you go," he said. "See, is one cookie so much to ask for?" "No, it is not," he said. "Thank you, kind sir. Your spell is broken, and from now on, a dozen is always 13. And that is how a baker's dozen became 13 and not 12.